Hello everyone, Musto0063 back again for I Want to Kill the Kamilia, Part 5, it's time for Stage 5. And remember what I said at the end of my last video, when I said that having cleared Stage 4 and finding it really quite difficult, that Stage 5 was just going to be delightful? Well, you know what? I'm going to go on record right now and say that Stage 5, the screens anyway, not the boss, we'll get to the boss when we get to him, oh, don't worry about that. But the screens in this area are less frustrating and easier than the ones in Stage 4. No, I'm not kidding. So, I guess I need to explain my reasoning. So, here goes. The first thing is that there are actually a lot fewer screens in Stage 5 than there are in Stage 4. I'm not sure exactly how few or how more or less, if that's a phrase I can use, there are. How many fewer there are? I think it might be about half, but I'm not absolutely sure. But the point that the fact that there are a lot fewer. Please don't lag. The fact that there are a lot fewer makes Stage 5 slightly less probably time consuming to get through. So that's a plus point right off the bat. Secondly, the convoluted paths that we saw that kind of were for a feature of Stage 4 are really nowhere to be seen in Stage 5. You pretty much just make your way toward the exit that you can clearly see. There's no second guessing which the route you have to take to clear the screen or whatever. So just kind of make your way to the obvious looking exit. Number 3, unless I misremember, and we'll see obviously as we kind of progress through Stage 5, that I don't believe there are many, or indeed any, triggers throughout this stage. And by that I mean, fruit or spikes kind of launching at you, at warp speed, and with really kind of difficult to dodge. So that's a big plus as well, that you don't have to kind of worry about those. This screen, although not the perfect example, is probably a good, not the perfect example, but probably a good example of my fourth point, which is that unlike a lot of the screens in Stage 4, which you kind of have to do in one go or whatnot, there are saves in the screens in Stage 5 everywhere. So yes, while some of the manoeuvres or jumps or whatever themselves are a bit more tricky than the ones you might have to pull off in Stage 4. I mean, look at the save here, for instance. I can just kind of save as I'm going along the way here and not have any problems. But yeah, the fact that there are saves everywhere means that you don't have to make an awful lot of progress to, without having to kind of reset the entire screen back right at the beginning again. So all I've got to do, is pull off maybe one more difficult manoeuvre than I would ordinarily have to on any screen on Stage 4. I've only got to pull off that one jump, or that one intricate weaving section, or whatever. Rather than, why is this killing me? Rather than have to, please don't lag either. Rather than have to, clear the entire screen in one go, and have to worry about 3 or 4 kind of intricate little areas. So, I personally find this, this set of screens for Stage 5 a lot easier, or certainly far less frustrating. I'm not going to say by any stretch of the imagination that I'm going to suffer fewer deaths on this stage than I do on Stage 4, because that's certainly not true. But, with so many saves all over the place, the deaths are fairly quick. You can kind of reset yourself quickly. And it's really not that big of a deal, I find. As I've kind of been progressing through, I've obviously neglected to mention too much about the stages themselves. So, hello, I want to be the bossy. While we're on the note, and this is probably a lot easier actually, given the position of the saves than the original. It also seems to be a little bit more lenient in certain places, particularly that kind of long jump down to the left, where you kind of have to go on the left-hand side, where you have to kind of arc round to the right and to the left. However, I find this little area right here far more irritating on this than it ever was when I want to be the Boshi. It's just the kind of the hitboxes on the spikes in this area I find really quite annoying. And this time, good. So that wasn't too bad. And this screen again. I may just take a quick break in the recording there because it's gone on for about 5 minutes, but just look at how many saves are on this screen. This is not terribly too bad, or let's hope it's not when we come back. Right, let's pick this up. And whilst the last recording was saving, I dutifully did my homework on this screen and counted up the number of save points on the screen. 14. So, an awful lot. And yeah, while the manoeuvres are a little bit tricky to pull off, by my just general look at the screen, I wager that you don't have to pull off more than 2 jump sections before you hit the next save. Now that's brilliant. That's, oh god, why am I not saving? You know, this yes, the manoeuvres are difficult, don't get me wrong, particularly some of the ones like that. I did say that, didn't I? Yeah, good. But you know, none of them are all that tricky. I mean, look at, I've only really just kind of started this area. I've probably made quite decent progress. Or I certainly think I have. But, you know, it's hardly taken me any time at all to get to this point. And the reason being that, yeah, the manoeuvres themselves I don't find actually all that difficult. But, yeah, the number of save points just makes this, you know, all the more easy than I believe the screen's on stage 4. So, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen, half of the other. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, if I can get my words out. This screen has gone by incredibly quickly. For what looks quite dreadful, this last little bit actually is a little bit annoying. You've got to get yourself positioned right on the edge of the block here, and then do a double jump off, which can be quite tricky. Particularly because when you go a little bit further over to the right, you obviously hit yourself on the spike. But this little last bit aside, where you kind of have to, you know, try and line yourself up, and it can be a little bit awkward. You know, look at this screen overall. Without all the save points, this would be nightmarish. But once you bung them all in, yeah, some of the jumps are tricky, but you know, with all the save points there, it's really nothing. Or I don't find it's anything. And I'm not 100% sure, but I think this is actually our last screen for stage 5 before the boss. So, as I said, quite a short stage compared to some of the other ones. I think that was only 5 screens, was it? And again, with this one, I haven't bothered to I'm not saving a video or something, so I've not bothered to try and count how many save points are on this screen. But again, a lot. So, while some of the manoeuvres, that one in particular there that I just did, is quite irritating. Yeah. I'll probably shut up on this point now because I've made it probably far too many times. But, yeah. This I don't find all that frustrating, I must admit. So, don't get me wrong, I've probably got at least already twice as many, maybe even 3 times as many actual deaths than on stage 4. But far more actually enjoyable. Not that the other stages weren't enjoyable, because I don't think the state screens in this game, at least anyway, are, you know, nightmarish enough that they're not fun. But yeah, this to me actually is far less frustrating than stage 4, and that really is all I'll say on the matter. So. Not sure what else to say on about this stage really. I'm pretty sure this is the last screen. It would be nice if I could actually get through this little section and indeed the whole screen before I have to cut the recording again. But given my fun on this little area, I'm probably not going to do that. Ah, there we are. I should have said something a bit earlier, because of course as soon as I complained about not being able to do it, I go and do it. Go figure. But yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't recall a single spike trigger or anything yet. That was not good. Didn't do that very well. But yeah, I don't recall anything that's any fruit or spikes that have flown at me. And yeah, it's obvious where you need to go. So yeah, I like this stage. Don't get me wrong, the boss that we're about to see, or hopefully about to see, more than makes up for it. But, yeah. How am I doing for time? I think I've got maybe about a minute or so left before I've got to cut it again. So, can we get through this in a minute? Probably not. There's something about this jump I really do like as well. I don't, as crazy as that sounds, I don't know why I like that jump, but might get through it. Damn it. Yep. See what I mean? I like stage 5. No one could have convinced me otherwise. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I'm probably not going to necessarily enjoy what's coming. Through there is indeed the boss of stage 5. So that was about 5.5 minutes. I'll take a quick pause to the recording and we will pick this up in just a second. Okay, let's pick this up. And apologies if the game music is slightly lower this time. I got a feeling that the boss music is going to come out very, very loud, so I've just kind of turned it down. So apologies if the game music, or indeed when you fight the boss, the game itself is quite low down. But oh well, I thought that perhaps the better thing to hear would be me and not necessarily the game music, just as well as for me that it doesn't feel like I've got to yell in order to be heard. Because yeah, if I'm actually physically shouting and it comes across when this video, that I am shouting, then that's obviously not good for you either. So, yeah, apologies if it is low, but I thought I would kind of turn it down because I've got a feeling that it would come up quite loud. Anyway, let's see who our boss of stage 5 is. And oh god, oh no, phew. Wow, that music would strike fear and terror into any I Wanna Be the game, I Wanna Be player anywhere. I thought it was going to be you-know-who from I Wanna Be the Boshi. But no, what a relief, it's just a giant wasp. And to beat the wasp, or whatever the hell this thing actually is, you shoot the kind of brown looking stones, and you shoot them back at, or you shoot them and they kind of go off at an angle and hopefully hit him. Although some of them, if you don't get your shots off kind of quickly, or get into the rhythm reasonably early on in this fight, they can be actually really quite difficult to hit him with. As I'm finding now. At certain points in time, I am doing a terrible job with my shots as well. At certain points in time, oh for God's sake, the lava comes up from the floor. Really? I missed that one too. So you've got to kind of know roughly when that's happening and time a jump accordingly, or double jump indeed. But beat the wasp and we get this funny little guy. I, to be honest, have not really much of a clue what this thing is. Other than it's not too bad to beat. The principle seems to be shoot the spike when it appears on screen and the bullets kind of deflect upwards. When his giant hand or arm cannon or whatever the hell that is comes down, then shoot that. At the moment he's only shooting these kind of black bombs, but now he's shooting blue ones as well, which are far more irritating to dodge because they kind of home in on you. So the black ones just kind of fan out, and he's down as well. So yay, and no! Yep, they lull you into a false sense of security. You do have to fight Solgryn. The good news is, beat the wasp and the blue guy, and the fight starts off with Solgryn. So thankfully, you don't have to do that every time. But, oh god, it's him again. Now, given my, I've not really whined too much at this point in time. Given my kind of proclamation that, oh no, it's Solgryn again. This is generally, I was going to say generally easier than the original. If I don't make a colossal mess up of really quite straightforward things. To kick off, you need to kind of, well, I suppose you don't have to, but I find it's a good idea to move to the right hand side to dodge his kind of water shot, move to the left to get back to the middle, and then move back to the right. Double jump over Solgryn as he kind of moves along the ground. If I can dodge if I dodge this, then I'm not going to have much time to talk about the rest of it. But somewhat good news, I've actually died. So here we go. Move to the, not too early. Blair. Right. Not too early. God damn it. Move to the right, move back to the left, then move back to the right, double jump. Right, now kind of hang to the left, really, because you want to kind of be over to the left when these water shots come down from the ceiling. Double jump over the, double jump over the nom 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 nom, and the one little shot. Now for this that little bit where he shoots fire, the shots kind of head right over to the left-hand side and try kind of jump when I did. For this raisin section, if you stand on the 6th block from the left up until pretty much the last 2 moves, you will dodge absolutely all of them. So that really is kind of a piece of, damn it, cake to dodge. I'll try and get back to that in a minute when we get there. So double jump this. Right, so yeah, now right on the left hand side, jump about here, jump about. That was very poorly demonstrated. Here's hoping this goes better. Right. Get this right this time. Jump now, and jump now. Right, 6th block from the left, and then just pretty much stay there for about 10 seconds. When the last raisin kind of drops, you then need to kind of just move very slightly to the right to avoid the last 2 shots, but that'll do it. This bit is by far the most irritating bit of the thing to dodge. Recording's going on a bit, and I'm not going to beat him in the next minute, so I'm going to cut it there, and we'll pick up the story of this fight when we come back. Ah, seizure alert. Get rid of that and start this off again. So yeah, to return to probably what I was been trying to say for quite a long time. Once you kind of know where you need to be on this kind of fight, it's really not so bad. The only really difficult bit I find in this entire fight, provided Reappearing Disappearing Solgryn is not a complete git like he wants it to be on my Boshi run through at certain points, is this little bit here. It's very hard to describe how to even go about dodging that. I can't really try and describe exactly what I do for that. I kind of hang about in the middle and kind of move left and right, back and forth a little bit, but that's really quite difficult to describe, you know, exactly where you need to be for that. And as you can see at the moment, I've not yet managed to successfully get that bit, so I wouldn't really want to say definitively, oh, do this and you'll get through it. There are obviously, again, probably countless other ways in which you could manoeuvre through that section to avoid it, but I find that this one probably requires the least amount of effort in terms of having to jump or do anything. So there we go. Just do what I just did there. Now, if Reappearing-Disappearing Solgryn is not a complete... You don't want to be particularly kind there, do you? Reappearing not right on top of the platform like you do in Boshi, but still hovering right above the platform, at least 3 times in a row there. Not fun. Not giving me a lot of breathing room there. Ugh. Like I said, if Reappearing-Disappearing Solgryn doesn't want to be a knob, then the only really difficult bit is the kind of the fire wave immediately after he's hurtled Sonic at you. And I say I can't really say right definitively do this. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm doing. I swear sometimes it possibly looks like he doesn't do the exact same pattern every time. I'm sure he probably does, but it doesn't look like it necessarily in the heat of the battle. I don't know whether they slightly home in on you, and that's dreadful timing or dreadful positioning. And therefore the positioning is very slightly different depending on where you're positioned or something. I suspect not, but it certainly does look like it sometimes. In the heat of battle, anyway. So, yeah, other than simple messing up on positioning, the rest of it, certainly getting up to that spread wave shot section, is not really too much of a chore. There we go. Right, please be a bit nicer this time. That'll do. That's not what I really wanted to see. Oh, come on, no. No! And I lost my double jump as well. And why are you teleporting so close to me, giving me so little breathing room? You git. Let's not have a rerun of the Boshi fight. Or one particular video I'm thinking of the Boshi fight, where you just literally were about as goddamn ridiculous as you ever could be during that phase. say that bit is still not as bad as the original because it never seems to teleport right on the platform, giving you no breathing room. But not directly above me, giving me very little time would be appreciated, please. Ah, that's better. You've had your one above me. Yep, that'll do. I don't know if that's your last one or not. No. Oh, you son of a... Ah! Last one. Fantastic. I probably should have dodged that anyway, but still, why could you not have just made it easier? I must admit, I really did luck out when I found this spot when I was doing this. I was just kind of thinking, oh god. So I was trying to remember how I do it on the Boshy version, how I kind of where I need to stand, because I've got a kind of again a set kind of idea of what I do there, and I try and replicate that every time. So I thought, oh god, have I now got to try and find another pattern for this bit? But I really did just luck out there at some point in time where I just thought, oh, I can just stand here and have a grand old time. No. Right, good. Hummel away fairly quickly. He doesn't have a lot. Oh god, is his health bar even gone? His health bar at the top looks like it's gone. I would have died anyway, but oh, that was annoying. I'm not going to get back by the time I have to cut the recording again, so yeah. Right, pick this up again. It's probably only been about 10 minutes on the boss, but I'm kind of running out of things, a few things to say. Yeah, I really wish I hadn't messed up right there. I really wish I was paying attention as well, and not, yeah, just not paying attention to what on earth I should be doing. One thing I probably haven't mentioned is the bit where Sonic kind of comes in. I think probably unlike some of the Boshy, I've done it again. What the hell am I doing? Unlike some of the other versions of this boss, oh god, I've messed this up. Just about recovered. Yeah, Sonic, you don't really need to know that he's kind of coming in order to react to it. You know, you don't have to kind of react before he kind of appears on screen. You have enough time for Sonic to appear on screen before you can, you know, before you move or do anything. So that's always a good thing. Although I did move slightly earlier there, but oh well. I think we've got the hang of that bit now. He says that he hopes he really doesn't jinx himself if he dies on this bit again and has to redo it. That's 4. I thought it was 6 last time I did it. I counted. Please not above me. Yes, good. Come on away. No, there is one more. Damn it. Oh, why is it the last one? Why can't you be kind? Why did I move to the left there and not the right? Oh, why? And why did I have to die when I practically already killed him at the end of the last recording? I'm sure his health bar was 0. Or he didn't have any white, you know, all the white of the health bar up top had gone. I still would have died anyway, but yeah. Why? Right, was it 7 of these then? I'm hoping I don't have to keep count anymore, but... Oh, for God's sake, that's absolutely unforgivable. You may all, through the power of telekinesis, move your hand to smack me around the head for that one. Come on. Oh, you son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Maybe this go. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do as well. Right, is it one more after this? Oh, come on! Oh, for the love of God! You seem hell-bent on just being really, really irritating with the 7th, it is 7, and last one. I'm probably messing up. I really shouldn't have been jumping into that. But still, can't you just do me a favour and make the last one that little bit nicer and easier to dodge? The only good thing that's coming out of this is that now I seem to be doing the spread shot with where Sonic's around, you know, pretty much every go now. So that's the only good thing that's coming out of this at the moment. That's 4. 5. Oh, bleeding hell. And you were fine there. You were fine there. Ah, that's about long enough. I'm going to have to cut again. Okay, a couple, well that one included, a couple of last deaths have just been really, really silly on my part. Yeah, okay, Solgryn's been a bit annoying in that reappearing-disappearing phase, but a couple of them now I've just walked straight into a shot when I could have, you know, held my position and been fine. So, you've got me panicking, Solgryn. I'll say that. Hey. 1. You bastard. In case you couldn't tell, I've really run out of things to say on this phase. I was hoping it would be done a little bit quicker than this. Not that this is dragging on for an eternity at the moment, but I probably should have had this done by now. A few times. Oh, for God's sake, I'm not predicting where they're coming out from now. I don't usually have that much of a problem with that phase either. It's usually the spread shot bit where Sonic's flying around. But I seem to have just got a rhythm down for that now. I mean, I guess ultimately, assuming that phase is identical every time and that they don't home in on you or anything, the only real part of this which actually, funnily enough, is random is this reappearing-disappearing bit. So I can at least say that I'm dying on the one random element of this boss, but I've died far too many times to it now. 5. You're still not in the best of positions. Oh, for God's sakes. I've not got anywhere near as many hits on here as I would like, which means I'm going to have to do this a bit longer than I would ordinarily like to. Come on. Yes. Hallelujah. Right. Please don't mess up on the transition to phase 2. Of course, there's not just one phase of this. I thought if that was maybe the last, the last giant spike, that I just might have not got up quick enough. So this is phase 2. It looks reasonably similar to the original phase 2, and it pretty much is. I find that this actually runs a lot smoother, and thank you for at least demonstrating what is a godsend for this boss fight. Although I was hoping not to have died on this phase. The fight saves between phases, so I don't have to do phase 1 again. So unlike my final fight of Boshi, I don't need to continually cut this video. This is reasonably easy actually as well. I just made a giant mess of that. I've made another giant mess of it. This is actually really, really difficult. I'm going to proclaim that and see what happens this time. But yeah, I find the way these kind of energy beams move this time around just a lot kind of smoother. They don't seem to kind of move as fast, I must admit. There seem to be more of them actually as well, so that you get more of a chance to kind of hit Solgryn. And yeah, if you don't completely mess up, I find it generally a lot easier to dodge than the ones in the original fight. He has a kind of a shockwave move as per the original as well, but it's pretty similar to how you would dodge it in the original. Nothing too much to worry about. And of course, your end game here is to deplete the green shield around Solgryn. And since we've kind of already gone through one phase, I probably should at this point in time put a premium on surviving as opposed to trying to deliberately aim the things to hit him, but oh well, why not try both? Since the thing has saved, and I'd only have to do phase 2 again, and not the whole thing, I can probably afford to. If I had to do phase 1 all over again, I would be far more cautious during this bit. Right, you haven't got much left, so here's hoping we don't have to go through a third phase of all this. There we go. But again, not just phase 2, but this time there's something slightly different. Right, double jump up to get... Oh god, don't you dare! No, I can't hit the save now! You son of a bitch! Does the platform come back down? No! Oh, can I get up here? Please tell me I can land on these. Gee whiz, thank God for that. You've completely messed me up on the platform there, and I thought I wouldn't be able to save. Again, godsend, you can save between phase 2 and 3 of the fight. Phew, that is about 5.5 minutes, so let's take a quick cut there before attempting the third and final phase of Solgryn. Right, let's see the third and final phase of Solgryn. Now, in my opinion, not from the whole of phase 3 on the original fight, but certainly from the point of which you get in the Vic Viper, this is actually harder than the original fight. Once you get to the Vic Viper stage, it's certainly not easier than phase 3 overall, where you've got to dodge Ryu and Mario and Biollante and Sonic and the whole cast and crew of whatever the hell's going on. But yeah, once you get to the Vic Viper stage of the original phase 3 and I Want to Be the Boss Sheet, I think this is actually harder than that. The first and second phase, well certainly the second phase is not. Well, it's about the same actually, probably the second one. I'm in completely the wrong position here, so I'm doing absolutely nothing in the way of damage. This has been absolutely terrible, but oh well. Hopefully we can still get him anyway. Yeah, I should have been far more over to the right hand side of the screen there, so that I was going through the tunnel, well, a bit closer to him and was actually able to hit him, but oh well. Yeah, as you've it's very hard to describe everything that's kind of going on here, but again, a bit like probably the Vic Viper bit and the other bit, once you kind of know where you need to be positioned, again, not too terribly bad this phase. I'm really quite disappointed actually now if I don't do this, which would be first go. Just essentially just keep holding the auto fire down and whoa, where did you come from? Yeah, this isn't really all that bad. Oh come on, don't tell me I've got to dodge one wave of those things. No, you're down. Yeah, that was a lot easier than phase 1 or phases 1 or 2, wasn't it? Certainly phase 1 anyway. Phase 2 didn't take that long, but boy, phase 1, wow. And we don't actually end phase 5, stage 5 there, or it certainly doesn't tell us that we've ended stage 5 there anyway. So I'm actually just going to, I'm not going to end the video there and call that the end of stage 5. Not that I actually know where the end of stage 5 is. Indeed, there is an end to it. I'm just going to kind of make my way through this little section, which is the area before the final boss. I'm going to die, so that's brilliant. But yeah, the gimmick to this bit, obviously, which hopefully you can kind of see by now, is that you don't really know where you're, or the whole way of where you're going. Oh no, I'm going the wrong way. There are gaps around, and you need to be a little bit careful, but you can kind of see where you're going from the start. or when you're kind of further back. So you can see here at the moment I'm going to the right. I can see roughly where I'm going. I don't know where I'm going now. That's a big worry. Where am I going? I'm going to have to backtrack because I can't see where the hole in the floor is that I need to go up. It is there. Why the hell was I not doing anything? Yeah, if you kind of back off, then you can kind of see where you're going. Again, what's going on here? So if you are having trouble and you find yourself kind of stuck, then you just need to kind of probably backtrack a little, and you can see the path you're going. When you get where the kid is positioned, obviously the path disappears and you can't see where you're going. But there are no spikes, there are no hidden triggers or anything, so this area really isn't too bad. Just navigate your way through a maze. And I'm going to call that the end of stage 5. Through to the right is indeed the final boss. So yeah, we will come through that next time, but thank you, high CPU usage, right by the end of the video. You couldn't have waited 10 seconds for the end of the video before you popped up. This is the end of stage 5. Boss aside, I find the stage really, really fun. Actually, funnily enough, the saves everywhere really help with that, and I find it a fun challenge. The boss, yeah, probably the hardest one. It may be a bit of a toss-up between the final boss, but we'll see that when we see it. So, yeah, that was stage 5. Stage 6, if indeed there is such a thing, or more accurately, the final boss will be coming in what is hopefully, if it doesn't take too long, the final video. So, stay tuned for that.